Hi, Pirates. If you're there, thank you so much for joining. We're going to wait a few more minutes for some people to get here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So just hold on a second. Let me see if I can play video. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Lizzie McGuire movie is now on Netflix, so in honor of that.
I could almost kiss the stars, they're shining so bright. When I see you smiling, I go, oh, oh, oh. I would never want to miss this. 'Cause in my heart, I know what this is. This is what dreams are made of. This is what dreams are made of. Like people. Say what up, FedEx, to my new American friend, Lizzie McGuire. Lizzie McGuire is a nice girl. You try to hurt her. I'm thinking you work for me. Not anymore, Paolo. I quit. Paolo! Paolo can't sing music now. Put it on the line. It's just. You want to hear sing? Have you ever seen such a beautiful night? I could almost kiss the stars, they're shining so bright. When I see you smiling, I go, oh, oh, oh. I would never want to miss this. 'Cause in my heart, I know what this is. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. I've got somewhere I belong. I got somebody to love. This is what dreams are made of. Have you ever wondered what life is about? You could search the world and never figure it out. You don't have to sail the ocean. No. Happiness is no mystery. Here now, it's you and me. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. I've got somewhere I belong. I've got somebody to love. This is what dreams are made of. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. Hey now, this is what dreams are made of. Open your eyes, dreams are made of. Shout to the sky, this is what dreams are made of. When I see you
how many people. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that in honor of the Lizzie McGuire movie. It's one of the best movies ever made, so if you haven't seen it, I highly, highly recommend it. Okay, hi Pirates, how are you? I hope you guys are doing really awesome tonight. It looks like we got a few people here, but just a reminder, if you're watching the recording, it's totally the same. And if you have any doubts or anything, you can let me know. So let me go ahead and share my screen so I can get the PPT up. It's going to be amazing. That is not what I want to do. Here we go. Okay, so welcome to our National VP oGET call. Woo! I hope you guys are doing awesome, having awesome days. School isn't getting too stressful, and no one's getting sick. I'm a little sick, so if my voice sounds weird, that's totally why. And always a reminder that this is my Snapchat. I love Snapchat, so if you want to Snapchat me anytime during the call or anytime in life, I would love it. I will totally Snapchat you back. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to some interesting snaps. You might get a reward from me at Canal if you send me a fun snap during this hangout. Cool. Okay, so to get started, the way that we're gonna run this is super, super simple. It's gonna be just like kind of every other chat we have. So one, it's gonna be like a quick review of our scoreboard, kind of what's going on there, a little bit of a personal reflection with that. And then we have some really, really important updates, and then any time for questions, doubts, concerns, whatever it is we want to share. Okay? Any questions or doubts along the way, just text them in the WhatsApp group. I have my phone open right here beside me, so you can just text the questions and I will answer. Or, of course, if I'm talking too fast in English, you can tell me to slow down. So, cool. To get started, first we're going to look at you guys' LC term, right? So this is from January 1st when you guys started, brand new VPs, so naive, had no idea what was going to happen, all the amazing things you were going to do this year, until today, right today. So far you guys have achieved 253 realizations out of the 551 realizations you guys set at Conal last year. So that's at almost 50% of the goal, which is like not really where you want to be at this time of the year. Some of you are achieving, some of you are not. It's okay, things happen. But what's cool to see is you guys are growing 27% in realizations, and you're actually growing 23% in approvals. So this is not like amazing growth, but you guys are growing on average more than like other terms have been growing. So it's okay. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad at all. You guys are on a pretty good track. In terms of looking at the term since I started as your MCVP, remember that our big realization goal is 450 realizations. Woo, amazing, the most like growth ever. And so far we've achieved 110, which is almost 25% of the goal, which is pretty good. I mean, it's actually right where we should be right now. So we're doing really, really, really well on realizations. When it comes to approvals, we've only achieved 93 since we started, which is like not really close to the goal achievement we should be at. We should be achieving around 150 right now so far since July 1st. So we're kind of behind, but we're almost at the 100 mark and we are still growing from last year. We're only growing 7% from like, if you look at January to now, 2015 compared to now, but it's, at least we're growing. We were not growing for a while, so it's step one, start growing, step two, grow more, right? And we are growing on average 12% in realizations. And the thing with that is that if we focus on growing in approvals, then we're naturally going to grow way more in realizations. So it's good. And we're still positive growth, so it's okay. If you look at applicants, we have a ton of applicants. We have 742 since the term started. So 742 individual people clicking apply on opportunities, which is almost 30% of what we need for the whole year. So it's more than we thought for this peak in general, which is interesting. And for opens, we have 1,263 that actually have profiles with us on Expa, which is pretty cool. It's about 23% of what we need for the whole year. So it's like pretty good for this peak. It's enough that we need to do the approvals we need to do. But we still for sure like need a lot more. That's kind of an overview. We're in an okay place. We're not achieving what we need to achieve, but it's okay. So going into the month of October, this is a little while ago because it's already almost November 10th. But just to put this into perspective, guys, so we almost achieved our realization goal. Woo, amazing. And we did grow a lot in realizations in comparison to 2015. So that was awesome. However, we did not do so hot in approvals. As you guys know, we've been behind in approvals almost every single month since we started. And last month we actually decreased from 2015. So we did 17% less than them, which is really, really not that great. We still have a really huge gap, which is why I'm challenging you guys to do 50 approvals this month. And we already have 11 approvals. So like if we do 11 approvals every week this month, we will almost be achieving our goal. If we can do like 15 one week, we'll be okay. So it's really good, guys. Really good. So now going back into the individual LCs, this is showing you from like the whole year until now. So you get the whole big picture. In terms of approvals, we have Leon at the top, then Itam, Veracruz, UNAM, and Monterrey in the top 5. So congratulations, super, super congratulations to you guys. And congratulations to everybody in the top 12 actually for breaking 10 approvals for the year. And special shout out to Veracruz, Tabasco, and Puebla because you guys have really been working your asses off since like July 1st. And you guys are actually have your top 3 in approvals since July 1st. So you might not be in the top 3 overall for the year, but you guys are really, really being recognized in this semester. Congratulations. In terms of realizations, you can see it looks a little bit differently, but congratulations to Leon, UNAM, ITAM, IPN, and Guadalajara for being the top 5 there. You guys are rocking it. I really, really appreciate it. Super awesome. Congratulations to Leon as well, because they're actually the first ones to hit tier 2 in oGET. So woo! Rawr, go Leon, go Mal. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. Cool. So congratulations to all your LCs there. Okay, so now something really interesting. If you look at the international ranking from the start of your term, we always talked about how we were 6th place, 6th place, 6th place, but we actually jumped up to be 5th place right now. We're beating Egypt in realizations, but not by that many. So congratulations, guys. We have just jumped ahead into 5th in the entire world, which is really, really freaking cool. So congratulations. I'm super proud. But the thing is that Egypt has more approvals than us still. So they're projected to beat us again. And we're projected to drop back down into 6th place, which is not where we want to be. So we got to that's why we really, really got to keep pushing for those approvals. Now, this is kind of scary, but honestly, just really happy compared to other things that we've been talking about. The fact that if you look on Expa, of like the 12,000 something people that have signed up, only 486 of them are not contacted still. So, well, one, that's like a lot less than we've had in the past week. So like we've been contacting our people. Amazing. I love you guys. Congratulations. But still, that's like almost half of like all the people total. And a lot of them have been happening in the last month and a half. So it's all these people that are just waiting and waiting and waiting to go on exchanges. And they're not we're not calling them, or they're not being marked as contacted. Maybe they're not answering. But remember, as soon as you try to call them at least 3 times, you can mark them as contacted. Okay, and then it's up to them to respond to us. But this is like, yeah, it's decreasing, but it's still like this is 486 potential more approvals and potential more lives we're changing and leaders we're creating for Mexico, which we all know we so desperately need right now. So if you don't know how to find this, I can show you an Expa right after this, but you have all the resources in our resource hub. Remember, check and make sure that you're marking your people as approved. Always, always, always. Cool. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed that general overview. Honestly, yeah, we're in an okay place, but we're not like where we need to be. Pretty much how we've been all year. So Now let's get a little bit personal. Let's look at it by like the LC-wise. So I want you guys to open the bit.ly that's on the slide. So bit.ly/oGET November data. It's the same spreadsheet I showed you guys in one of our last calls. Let me open it for you really, really fast. You can see. It basically is going to show you how your LC is doing in terms of goal achievement and also how it's doing in terms of growth and like projections. So you have here, if you look at the first tab, here, let me show you the bit.ly one more time so you guys can see where you need to go. oGET November data. And okay, cool. So if you look at it here, you can see in the first tab what it is you guys are doing. You can see what you achieved in the first semester versus what you achieved in from the second semester till now, and then like total for your year so far, right? So you can see how much of your goal you've actually been achieving. And we are at what month 11 of the year, so you guys should be around like anywhere around 70 to 80% of the goal achievement right now, or maybe a little bit less if you're expecting it if you have more approvals that you will realize in December, January. But I would say anything below 70, you guys are kind of like in trouble for still achieving your goal for the year. But you can check and see that. And then if you go to the second tab, which is the year on year, this is going to show you like what you're doing in terms of growth from last year and OD projections, right? So yeah, basic, you can see this is what you're doing in 2016 so far, and this is what you did in 2015 from like January 1st, 2015 until like November 11th, 2015, okay? So it's not like the bias for the whole year, and you can see how much you're growing, you can see how much maybe you're not growing, and you can also see like what tier you're currently in and what you're projected to be at. So we have a lot of LCs that are projected to jump to tier 3, which is really cool. One is already going to be in tier 2. So Leon, congratulations, go you. Nobody in tier 1 quite yet. And still though, the majority of our LCs are projected to be in tier 5, which is the bottom tier. You can see over here that like the distribution for like what you guys are projected to do and kind of the breakdown. So we're growing, but like still not every LC is growing, which is good. And you can see on the LC level, the average like relative growth we're having in realizations is 7.8%, which is like super low. But it is what it is. So I'm going to give you guys a minute, digest it, find your LC, figure out if you're red, yellow, green, whatever it is. 1 second. And once you've done that, I will have some questions just for you guys to go through. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes, get comfortable, get a pen, paper, write on your computer, whatever is going to be the most useful for you. But I want you to just simply, ask yourself, how am I really doing with my goal achievement? Am I achieving? Am I not? How do I feel about either achieving my goal or not? Am I really happy with how much I'm growing? Something also to look at is like, cool, maybe I'm growing overall for the year, but like, how am I doing in the last few months, right? Like, is this growing every single month, or is it growing just like in once every 4 months when we're like pushing a lot of approvals? Will I really jump tier by December 31st? Some of you are projected to and some of you not, even the ones that are projected to. Do you think you're really going to be able to jump tier? I mean, really the amount of approvals the amount of realizations you need to get to jump tiers between tier 5 and tier 3 are really not that many. So think about it. Honestly, think about your pipeline. Think about your team. Think about like how your EPs are behaving right now. Think about your cooperations. Do you really think you have what it takes to make it happen? And once you've gone through that, think about how much more fight do you really have left in you? How much more fight do I really have left in me? It's been almost 11 months. It's been a long term. We've worked our asses off and we still have 3 more months to work our asses off. So how much energy can you squeeze out of you to fight for the next 3 months? Like how many, what's that one final push you think you can give yourselves and your team? And with your team, How much do they have left? How long have they been with you? Finals are coming up. Really, how much more can you expect them to fight? How much can you squeeze out of them for the next 3 months? How much can you empower them in the next 3 months to really leave the legacy that you guys want to leave as the Pirates in your LC? So I'm going to give you a few minutes. Take your time, think about it, and then we'll move on to the next part. I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. Sorry, guys, I'm still sick. I got about a minute and a half left. Okay, guys, finish up your final thoughts, and then we're going to move on to the next one. So, yeah, I hope this gave you a bit more of like a personal reflection on kind of like where you are and, helping face reality, okay, numerically and also like personally. Where do you think you can really end up being by the end of the year? 3 months left. So what do we do when we figure out kind of where we are? We make a plan for where we're going to go next, right? Because this is ISEC and we're always being solution oriented. So I want you to ask yourself these questions based upon the things that you just came up with. First one, like, what is my biggest bottleneck? I've heard a lot of people saying expa, there's not enough opportunities, my LC partners are being slow, blah, 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 blah. All of these things, right? Really, like, what do you think is the thing that's holding you back the most? Right? And if you say expa, I don't want you to use expa for this activity because right now it's something that you have control over and it's just about putting them on the system, which is annoying, but it's not the hard part of this, right? So think about whatever is your bottleneck from getting to that next big volume besides expa. I want you to ask yourself what the cause of that bottleneck is. Right? And I don't want you to say like just the first thing that comes to mind. I want you to really think deeply about that, right? So, okay, if you think that the bottleneck is there's not enough opportunities available. Okay, well, why isn't there enough opportunities available? Okay, well, I don't know. I think IGT's selling things in a way that doesn't match my EP supply. Okay, why isn't IGT selling things in a way that matches your EP supply? I don't know, maybe they don't understand my EP supply. Okay, why don't they understand your EP supply? Okay, maybe because I never communicated the correct things, right? So maybe it's about like the alignment and the expectations of how IGT is selling like your EPs, right? That could be the cause of the bottleneck. This is just an example, but I want you to use what is the most important for your LC, right? So take that, figure out what the cause is, right? Then once you figure out that, I'm going to give you a few more minutes and we'll go down to the next two questions, okay? So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think about this, okay? Again, ask why 5 times. Okay, guys. If you need more time, go ahead and you can, mute this video and then catch up later. But I'm going to go ahead and move on for the sake of time. So, I hope that you got to kind of a conclusion about really what's the reasoning behind this. Now, I want you now to think about what you have control over changing about that, right? I don't want you to say something that you don't have the ability to fix, right? The purpose of this activity is to figure out what you have the ability to fix and be solution oriented about, right? So I want you to think of that 1 or 2 things that maybe can make that happen. I'm going to go back to the example that I used earlier, but of course you use the one that you have written down right now, right? So if it's that I'm not communicating like to IGT effectively what kind of EPs I'm selling, what I need to do? Well, maybe it's I need to be very, very clear about the kind of profiles that I'm giving them. And I need very clear JDs about like what they're selling, right? So I can align that. So when you have a clear like you have a call with them to realign everything as LC partners. Okay, these are the examples of the kind of like people I'm giving them sample CVs of like the most typical profiles from whatever your target market is, right? Then you have a discussion, okay, what kind of JDs and things are you selling? You align that, you have it in like a very simple like one side thing. You can see this is the profile, this is the JD, right? And that's what they're selling and that's what you're selling, and you have like a clear timeline about when the deadlines and everything are. So it's easier to approve, and it fixes your problem of there not being the opportunities available. That kind of thing, right? And so once you figure out that, write down the 3 steps, which is what I just kind of mentioned. I didn't number it in 3, but it was like 3 different things that you can do to effectively actually make an impact and change this, right? Whether it's with, oh, I need different kinds of EPs that actually align to the supply that exists, whether it's the example I gave you, whether it's something just having to do with your team and being faster and quicker, whatever it is. Because the reality is we have, yeah, 3 months, but really, like, if we don't get our approvals this month, like, I don't know when they're gonna happen because December just goes by like that. in January maybe you can get some approvals, but they won't be enough to get you realizations in your term. Realization for approvals in January, but they're not going to be the ones that get you to your goal achievement. So we have to be effective, we have to be quick, we have to have a real sense of urgency because this is the month or never. So I'm going to give you guys 3 more minutes to think about what you have control over changing. Again, if you have doubts or questions. So 3 minutes. I keep on opening my calculator instead of my timer. Okay, there we go. 3 minutes. You guys have about a minute and a half left. Okay, start wrapping up all the things you're writing down, all the cool, effective ideas I hope you guys are having. If you're having trouble with this activity, that's totally okay. I know it can be hard sometimes. Like, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to anyone in the VP group, Carlos or Amazing MCB, any of your NSTs, whoever it is. And we can, I can help you go through it in a one-to-one myself. You can always book me, send me WhatsApp, email, whatever it is. So you guys can figure out really what you can do in the next month to get that last push of approvals, okay? Cool. So I hope that this was a good, just quick reflection activity, helped grounded you, got you on a page of where you need to go. So now moving on to a few just important things. Some of them are quick updates, but some of them are kind of big things that we all need to really know about and pay attention to. So the first one is just about the Be a Millionaire Challenge that I'm sure you guys have seen, run by our wonderful CXP team, Mariana and Maru. So basically, this is sort of similar to the Pokey Challenge, but a little bit different, right? So the idea behind this is that you have a bank account, and by every week you get a certain amount of money into your bank account, depending on if you achieve your approval goal or not, right? So if you achieve it, you get money, and if you don't achieve it, you don't get the money. But if you achieve some of it, you get some of the money, right? It's by percentage. So technically, even if you're a really, really big, high performing LC, if your goal for the week is 10, but you only get 5, but if you're a smaller LC, that's still on the verge of growing, and your goal is 2 for the week and you get 2, the smaller LC on the verge of growing would get more money than the big LC, right? Because it's just by goal achievement. So if you go to this link, hub/bank.weebly.com, you can see all the information about the challenge. You can keep track of your LC, you can keep track of the Pirates, all these things. So far as Pirates, we have $125,000 in our bank account. And the idea is that if we achieve our goal, we get $1 million. And that's the point, is to be a millionaire, right? And everyone has the chance. So we can for sure beat all of the other areas. Like for sure we can beat the Passioners and the Story Makers and the Wolves for sure. I know you guys should have no problem achieving your goals this month. So if you have any doubts or whatever, there'll be recognitions on the page, but go to this website and it can give you all the information you need. So our second big update is I was talking with Ernie this week, and he wants to help us out with some digital marketing campaigns. And this is basically something that the MC will invest money in to help give you some support for some new lead generation. So if you guys are having some trouble, approving, and you think you need to get a few more leads, and you think you have a really good market for these 3 profiles I'm about to talk to you about, then you need to approach me by tomorrow so we can set up a plan and like a timeline for this. Where basically Erdi will put things on the ISIC Mexico Facebook page, and we like invest money into advertisements, and it shows, and it will like basically the kind of people in your market that have these profiles that we're looking for will see the ads, right? So it's completely digital marketing, right? So these 3 are for teaching in Colombia. So teaching, Colombia signed a new kind of agreement with the government. So they're going to have a lot of teaching opportunities, which they should be getting me the opportunities for in the next few weeks. So if you want to recruit more, again, basic English teaching in Colombia, let me know, and we can help do a digital marketing campaign with that. Second is Brazil has so many IT opportunities for GE that they really need to match, and they really want Mexico to help match them because they know we have IT supply. So if you think you have an IT market for GE in Brazil for this peak, for sure, let me know for that. And same with Peru. Peru is desperate for graphic designers. And they all have the GE opportunities, right? So if you think there's a possible market for these December, January realizations with Peru, most of them will be December, then this should be something that you approach me about too. If you have good IT profiles in your school, in terms of graphic design, some of you guys, from when I did some basic research online, have really good graphic design departments. Like so many schools in Puebla and also UDEM, I saw have a lot of good graphic design. So if you guys are interested in maybe exploring that kind of market that you haven't before, this is a cool, opportunity the MC is willing to invest money in with you, but you have to let me know. Okay, I can't promise we can do this with every LC, but it's going to be basically by like market need and like LC talent capacity at this point. So let me know by tomorrow if you are interested in working with the MC for this digital marketing campaign. Next, cool. So I'm sure you guys have seen the emails from Carlos about our OPS RIS agenda. So basically, as you guys know, we're getting a newer, more standardized version for OGE and OGT. Right? So the purpose of this is one, like standards, like we have to deliver both of these things as part of an ISIC experience. It's completely non-negotiable. It's not an ISIC experience if these 2 aren't included. Second, it's really part of the customer flow implementation, is like really having these kind of things in a more standardized way, in a more customer-centric way, right? So that every EP in the whole country is getting the same kind of OPS and RIS and getting the same one that they both need. Yeah. And the other thing is that why we're more standardizing this for OGE and OGT is for digitalization, right? So remember that one of the kind of ambitions of the MC this year and of our network is to be completely digital, right? So an EP from any part of the country can go abroad through ISIC, receive all the standards without having to actually meet anybody in person. Which is a really, really, really cool, amazing thing, a really cool step for ISIC to be accessible to everybody and everyone and everywhere. But for that to work, we have to have these basic things like standardized OPS and RIS agendas that part of it can be digital, right? So
Remember that we already sent out the first round of it for feedback. Carlos did. Remember that the deadline is tonight by midnight, so fill it out right after this call. If you need to, that's the bit.ly. I'll send it to you again, and so will Carlos if you need it. And we're gonna go through all the feedback tomorrow, and it should be released the final version by Monday. Okay, and with a plan of, okay, how can we make this digital? What are the things that'll be happening in the next few months as like an evolution of this? So if you have doubts, let me or let Carlos know. This is something really exciting and important that's happening because we're about to have all our big peak growth realizations. Cool. So now moving on to the funnest part of the meeting. Woo, the future of oGET. Oh my God, guys, we have 3 months to work our asses off. But almost all of you already have successors. Oh my God. It's like a really amazing, happy feeling, but also a scary, shitty feeling like, oh my God, I'm almost done. I don't want to leave. I don't want to hand this over, but I love my successor. And oh my God, this is amazing. But oh, I don't want to leave. I have more to do. Right? It's like a two-way kind of thing. But it's a really, really exciting and a really special time of year. So I hope you guys went to the OD webinar that Hector hosted last night. It had a lot of good information about all the frameworks and everything about transition. There's the bit.ly for everything. If you have doubts, you can let me, you can let Hector, or you can let Fer Cadena, who's our MCVP TXP, know, and we can clarify them for you, okay? So just from my side, because I know that transition seems like a lot, and that tool might be a little bit overwhelming, and there seems like, oh my God, so many things to do, so many things to learn. Just chill, breathe, be calm. It's okay. It'll come. These are some of my like tips and tricks for making sure you have the best transition ever with your successor. So first is that the whole idea about having a successor, the whole idea behind ISEC, the whole idea behind, growing disruptively and sustainability is that your successor should be better than you. Right? You want your successor to do 10 times more than you did. You want your successor to blow whatever you had did this year out of the water. And so always treat transition like that. Are you developing your successor into the person that's better than you are? Always be asking yourself that question. The second one is really be sure that you're including your VP marketings and keeping them accountable to giving transition to your successor. The reason that marketing is no longer a separate function is so it can specialize, right, for next year into the different exchange functions to give better support so we can grow through marketing, right? Because it's so important. And they can't do that if your VP marketings aren't giving them a proper transition. So make sure you're taking care of that, and you guys are really doing this as a group of 3 and not just 1 or 2, right? Another thing is to be completely, open and honest with them, right? Give them the good and the bad of what happened in your year, right? Don't be afraid to let anything back, right? Everything you say should be in confidence. You want them to be better, and if they don't understand the mistakes that you made and the hardships that you went through and all the successes you did and how you did them, then I don't know how they can be better, and then probably don't they, right? The fourth thing is that make sure all your meetings should be a conversation, right? It shouldn't just be, "Hey, okay, so we're going to talk about this today, blah, 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 this and this and this and this," right? Always make sure it's a give and take, right? So yes, there might be some things that are like, okay, this is the customer flow. This is how you do an audit. This is how you use Expa, right? That's totally okay. But make sure that it's about, okay, they're asking questions and you're answering them, or you're asking questions to them for them to answer, or you're giving them challenges. All right, cool. I want you to go find this analysis on Expo right now to practice using it. Or can you find me what status this EP is in an Expo right now? Or can you try this or whatever on Podio to get, get them the feeling, right? So make sure you're always giving, making that a conversation and a two-way thing and not just you spewing information at them, because then they won't retain it, right? And the fifth thing, and probably the most important thing, is to push them to learn by doing as much as possible. Don't be afraid, especially because I know that a lot of you guys have successors that are not from oGET, and they're going to bring a really cool perspective, but they still need to know the basics of the everyday operations. So don't be afraid to, encourage them. Hey, can you be an EP manager? Hey, can you help me run this cooperation? Hey, come help with marketing with this this recruitment event right now. Hey, help me with this OPS. Hey, help me with this release, whatever it is, right? Don't be afraid to push them, but to learn by doing as much as possible, because that's the only way they're going to be better prepared for their term. So when it comes to transition, enjoy it, have fun, but remember these 5 things, because the whole idea is that your successor blows you out of the water, right? And your transition is the actual key to making that happen. We're legacy connectors, right? The next generation of pirates will be horrible if you guys don't give them the best transition pirates have ever given them. So I hope I can count on you guys to do that. So I know I can because you guys are awesome. So thank you in advance. And I'm always here if you need questions, if you have questions, of course. So the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about is kind of something that's going to be not I don't it's more of like an adaptation, right? From something you heard that happened in Apollo, that we're going to move forward with for next year. So as you know, GE used to be a subproduct of GT, and now it's a whole separate product. So now our area is responsible for 2 completely separate products. Each of them have at least 4 subproducts of them in them, right? So it's like 8 different subproducts you can possibly have for one area, which is so many, okay? And if you remember the OD model that MC Vibe created, the really awesome one that you guys are still following, it says that, with each tier, you should only be focusing on like certain subproducts, right? So in terms of adapting this, there's something that I want to I don't want you to change anything for this semester because you're already working on your plan. I don't want you to change anything for this semester. This is something to have a conversation with your successor about, maybe have a conversation with me about, and this will be something that starts in the next term. Okay? So as of January 1st, if you are a tier projected or will be a tier 5 or tier 4 LC for OEGET, what my strong suggestion is that you only run GT. Only that. Because for a lot of reasons I'll go through, okay? But again, most of it is all about focus. If you're in tier 3, this is where it's going to become a conversation, right? I don't want to say you have to run both, but if you still want to specialize in one, that's okay, right? That'll be something that more you and your successor have to figure out because some of you will be in tier 3. But if you're in tier 4 or tier 5, I'm telling you, you have to choose either GE or GT. And you can work on within the subproducts in those, okay? So the first reason why this is happening is about growing with the target market, right? So we all know from 40X that focus is better and focus allows us to achieve more, right? So it's not about, okay, I'm going to forget about all the subproducts completely. It's about growing it one at a time. And every single subproduct has a different kind of target market that we have to work with. So basically you start with one. You tap into that, you understand that, you figure out how to run one subproduct, and once you have it and you can grow it with one, you add another one and another one and another one, and that's how you upscale, right? Because it's the same process throughout, it's just a different kind of product along the way. That's it. The second one is in cooperation with digital marketing strategy. So there's a lot of really, really cool and innovative things URDI is bringing to ISEC in Mexico this year, and there will be some different things how we start doing digital marketing next semester, working with LCs, investing in LCs to with advertising, allowing LCs to be able to invest in advertising to help supplement the university marketing they're doing at a local level, right? And when you have all these different subproducts, it's really hard to cooperate with that kind of strategy because you can't get the kind of investment off of the advertisements as you can with the focus profile. So that's another reason we're doing it. Another reason is that you can better focus with your LC cooperations because it makes the communication, it makes the process, it makes the delivery, it makes everything so much easier when it's just one thing you're selling or 2 things you're selling, right? At tier 5 or tier 4, because you can focus on, I know the process, and you just do a lot of it, and you can work with the volume, and all of a sudden, boom, you've jumped 2 tiers in 6 months and you're ready to go for more. So it allows you to upscale your operations with the cooperations you already have. The fourth reason is really to balance our supply for the world, right? So Mexico has, very sought after profiles in like so many countries. People every day are like, okay, what kind of profiles do you have? What kind of profiles? If I want to work with Mexico, what kind of opportunities do I need to have available? And doing this, it doesn't mean that, okay, tier 5 all does this one subproduct, tier 4 does all this one subproduct. You guys are going to be able to pick and choose based upon your market, right? But overall, we're still going to have supply of all different kinds to offer the world, which will allow us to be a need and allow us to be a very attractive country still for people to want to work with, which is really important for our future. And the fifth reason is it's a better focus for creating partnerships. So I know that you guys have probably heard about how the big UR partnership we're going with Tec de Monterrey this year, right? And the main proposal we're going to give them is with GE, because that's what the thing is, right? So, what if all the tech LCs in tier 5 or tier 4 focused on running GE next year, right? Not that they couldn't run GT, maybe that's something they can do for the next semester, right? But imagine how much they could do if every single Tec de Monterrey LC was just selling GE for 6 months, and how they can upscale that and what that can do with the relationship with tech. And then, oh my God, wow, look at how much we achieved. Cool. Now let's start with GT in the second semester and recruiting for Fish Peak, or things like that. So it's a way to a different kind of way to think about things, and it allows you to be more focused and finding enablers, right? And doing those things to actually create your own supplier, to help enable sponsorships and give opportunities for even more people to go abroad that might not already have the resources. So just so you guys know, like, this is coming. If you don't agree with it, if you have doubts or whatever it is, like, please let me know. But this is kind of like what me talking with the whole OD team, with the CXP for Youth Corner, came up with when it comes to how we can better focus like oGET when it comes to the fact that we're now doing two very, very different products with very different markets. So I hope this makes sense. Again, if you have doubts, please, please, please let me know. I'm always here. So that concludes it for like all the content of the meeting. But if you have any questions or doubts about anything, go ahead and type them in the WhatsApp group right now. So I'm about to open it. Oh, I see some of you already texted me about the doing the digital marketing thing. That would be awesome. Yay. But yeah, any questions, go ahead and type them in the group. Any questions? Okay, Mel. Gracias. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. Yeah, I'm glad you're excited with the digital marketing strategy, Jen. Yeah, me too. I think it'll be a really, really cool, innovative addition to oGET for the future, for sure. Cool, awesome. Okay, well, if you guys think of any questions or have any questions throughout the rest of the night or the next weeks or whatever, please let me know. You can always book me for a one-to-one, WhatsApp me, whatever it is. Stay strong with Expa. I know you can do it, guys. I know we can make it through. Almost there. So, muchas gracias, ojetes guapos. I love you guys. I miss you. I hope to see a lot of you at Conal. It's going to be a fucking awesome conference. I have been elected to help with the agenda with today, so you better think it's going to be awesome. It's 2 Weena people. It'll be very fun. No, really, it will be. Lots of really cool things coming. So thank you guys so much. And as I told you this morning, guys, like, I know it might be kind of a hard day. It seems kind of crazy because of what happened in the US, especially for me. It's like very, very hard. But, as Hillary Clinton said, we can't stop believing that fighting for what is right is worth it. It's always worth it. And we have so much more work to do. So keep up the good work. We're on a good track, guys. I don't want you to think that we're not on a good track. We are, but we have a shit ton more to do. And to prove ourselves, we need to do much better. So have a great night, and I will talk to you guys later. Adios. Bye. Thanks for putting up with my crazy voice.